Okay, these are the graphs that I had put on the website for you to look at in the discussion, and that's because graphs are on the test. And I realize NROC, I don't think, covered graphs. But many of you may remember a lot of this from back in the school days, little school days. But a pictograph is a graph that uses pictures or symbols, and it displays information that can be compared easily, and that's usually what all graphs do. It's information laid out so you can compare it. Let's make this a little bigger. Okay, so use a pictograph to answer the question. Approximately how many more DC Comics stamps were sold than Legends of Baseball? So each little square represents 20 million stamps. So 20 million plus 20 million is 40 million, plus half of 20 million, which is 10 million. So this is 50 million Legends of Baseball sold. And then DC Comics, each stamp representing 20 million stamps, that's 20 million, 40 million, 60 million. It's kind of like counting 20s, 20, 40, 60, 80. Think of $20 bills. And half, one of these halves, so you got 60 million plus half of 20 million, which is 10 million. So it's 70 million comic superhero. So in order to know how many more stamps were sold, we have to subtract. So DC Comics equals 20, 40, 60 plus 10, which is 70 million sold. And Legends of Baseball. Alright. So I'll just use that little abbreviation. So you're going to have to subtract 70 million from 50 million, and that equals 20 million. So it's by a difference of 20 million. So 20 million more DC comic stamps, that's what these are, right? Were sold. And that's the math for it. Let's highlight that. Okay. A bar graph is useful for showing comparisons. They pretty much all are useful for that. Use the bar graph to find the number of fans who picked pro baseball as their favorite sport. So here's baseball, and the graph is showing you from 0 to 30 fans on this side. So we're going to have to roughly decide where that comes in. Is that halfway? Almost halfway. And it's kind of weird. What's halfway between 15 and 20? Well, that's 5 tick marks. So that's 2.5 is half of 5. Let's just estimate to the nearest 1. So it's larger than 15, less than 20. It's probably something close to 17. So a little more than 16 where 16 would be, and not quite as high as 18 would be. 17 said baseball was their favorite sports. So, and on the test, if it doesn't have a precise answer, you're going to be okay. Estimate, and chances are the directions will tell you to estimate. And if you wrote 16 and not 17, or 18 and not 17 on a test, I would accept it as an answer, as long as it lied between 15 and 20. I would accept the answer. Math. This is not precise math. So you'd say 17 adults roughly enjoy baseball.